Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this Talking Points video for NXT. So, of course, War has broken out. That is the big talking point. And we're going to go through the whole show. We're going to talk about how we got there. But there's so much to talk about on this episode. There was quite a bit that actually went down. So we're going to start at the beginning. Seems like a good place to start. Matt Cardona was behind Oba. Eric Young was behind Trick Williams, and actually throughout the night we would see lots of different TNA talent kind of popping up in the backgrounds. The show started in the arena, lights going out for a lights out match between Myles Borne and Lexis King, and honestly this match cooked. It was really fun. It was a bit weird with the lights being out. Like, I didn't feel like that was really necessary. I think the match might have been a little bit more enjoyable with the lights on. I don't think we kind of really needed the lights out. But other than that, it was a really fun match. The Boulder said, damn, this match is crazy, giving us a glimpse of what they were seeing, right? Just completely black. As I said, it might have been a little bit better. It wasn't that bad. It's just a joke. I mean, you can see it was pretty well lit. But there were definitely moments when they went outside the ring where it kind of lost them a little bit. So Myles Borne defeats Lexis King with a Borne again through a table. So here's the spots. Right here you can see coming in and delivering that Borne again, which, I think it was Liam in our chat that was saying not a big fan of this move because he kind of drives himself through the table first. I do kind of agree. I think of all the options that he had, probably like a spear or something might have been a bit better to have gone for there. But either way, match was good and a very good start to the show. Now, we found out that Ava was in the UK, and I don't know if that means anything. Probably not. But we have heard rumors that at the end of this year, they're going to launch NXT Europe. That was reported back in May. I don't know if we can start reading into things, but if she is over in the UK, she said on business, that could be connected. So probably me reaching, probably me being hopeful, but that would be awesome if we are getting a little bit closer to NXT Europe. But she wasn't around. Stevie Turner and Robert Stone just wanted to know, look, did you invite this TNA talent? She obviously couldn't hear them, and the phone kind of broke up. And so they didn't get an answer. So, yeah, things being set up. Look, there in the background, we got Steph DeLander. We got Mance Warner. Just behind All Ego, Ethan Page. Then, of course, he got into the ring. He was praising himself. We saw Dr. Wagner Jr. in the crowds. He actually jumped over the barricades. We ended up getting a really quick match. It was won by Dr. Wagner Jr., who then removed his mask to show us that it wasn't Dr. Wagner Jr. It was, in fact, Tavion Heights. For a second, I wasn't sure if the title had been on the line. I was a bit confused as to whether the title had been defended or not. It hasn't. They are going to be meeting in a championship match this weekend at No Mercy. We are at War, and War continues this weekend. Backstage, we had Arianna Grace and Jordynne Grace just having a bit of an encounter. Good to see Ren and Kendall and a few others back there as well. But yes, this basically set up Jordynne Grace against Arianna Grace for later in the show. But first, we had Cold Custards, or whatever his name was. Cole Cuthbert. He was doing the announcing. He's a NASCAR driver. We don't really have NASCAR over here, but I'm very excited for those of you that are fans. So he did the intro for the speed match, which does make sense. They're all about speed. Speed is about speeds. It makes sense. We did get a botch, and I want to say a thank you to everyone that sent this clip over, because it's not a big deal, but I just thought it was a fun thing to include, and I couldn't find it anywhere, right? So here is Candice right at the start of the speed match, going against the ropes, and slipping a little bit, but going again. And there we go. Just a little early botch. I mean, that only took 12 seconds to get to that botch. I mean, that is an achievement, isn't it? 12 seconds into a match, and we already get a little slip on the rope, a little botch. But the match itself was not bad. This is the finishing moment here with a big knee. So roll up by Candice. Bang! Mate, that is brutal. Brutal knee, right? And so it was Lainey Reid that got the victory. Watching on was Zarya and Sol Ruka. Zarya said, I don't like either. And Sol Ruka said same. So there we go. They were watching from that platform. Backstage, we actually got Lyra, which was a bit random. But Lyra arrived and, she was just having a catch up with Tatum. Izzy Dame came in, kind of making it very clear that Lyra wasn't needed anymore. You know, she was an old friend and that Tatum doesn't need her now that she's got Izzy. Lyra's like, well, that was uncalled for. Also, in the background, though, we had some more TNA talents. Steve Maclin and Victoria Crawfords, who I believe is formerly Alicia Fox. So very exciting. They did that trick again, where you think it's one person, turns out to be someone else. So here we had Cold Cuthbert, and when he took his helmet off, it was Joe Hendry. So Joe Hendry was under there, and this set up a match. Dark State against Chase U, and did you see Andre Chase's eye? I mean, I don't know if there was makeup on that. There absolutely could have been. But basically, we had Chase U and Joe Hendry taking on Dark State later in the show. Bit of a squash match for Jordynne. Jordynne getting a win over Arianna Grace. Not really too much to it. Down came Blake Monroe with a load of weapons. Obviously, we got a load of security separating them. A match made for this weekend. Steel cage match. Weapons involved. It's going to be Blake Monroe against Jordynne Grace. Should be a lot of fun. Outside the ring, we did get Arianna Grace and Stax. They've been presenting those two a lot on TV together, and so don't really know where that's going. But outside there was Matt Cardona saying always ready. So Matt Cardona outside the Performance Center. We had seen him earlier in the show. Jacy Jayne to Lola Vice. So Jacy came out on her own, and she said, you're not the underdog in this story. I am. And it was actually not a bad promo from Jacy. I really like Lola's, though. When Lola came out, she was like, you keep talking about my ass, but at least I've got an ass to shake. And Jacy was like, yeah, fair play. So this segment ends. Lola taking out Jacy. Is this a spoiler for Saturday? Honestly, I'm really hyped for Saturday. I think Lola has got a chance of winning this title, but never underestimate Jacy Jayne. Right, during the Dark State match, we saw Mike Santana arrive, and it seems like the whole TNA roster made their way to the Performance Center. So, Joe Hendry, Chase U, looked really good in this match, but it was a win. Thanks to the numbers, it was a win for Dark State. Then we got a really good video package out of Ricky Saints. He actually goes back to New Orleans. I love these. We did a couple on Lola Vice, and now we're doing one on Ricky Saints. It was really good. Really enjoyed it. Apparently that's where his house used to be, but his house was destroyed in the storm. And he was like, I don't just, represent those that are fortunate. I represent everyone. And just showed you Ricky meeting people in New Orleans, where he's from. Great video. This is a big talking point. Jasmine attacked backstage. Now, I think there is a talking point as to who attacked her, but the bigger news is that Jacy did not care. Fallon did not care. They said they were going to have to cut her loose anyway. It doesn't matter. She was going to have to go anyway. Seems like she is out of Fatal Influence. So it's not just about who attacked her. It could be Fallon. It might be Jacy. It could be someone else, but she's out of the group. And that is massive news. So obviously we've been teasing that for a few weeks. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know where we go, but of all the things that went down on this show tonight, that is huge. You could have ended this episode if we didn't have war breaking out. You could have ended this episode with that. We could have ended our main event, gone backstage, and we could have dropped that as the bombshell. The fact that we got that on this episode as well as war, I mean, this was good. I was so entertained. Loads of great things going on. I mean, that was great. This is interesting. Here's Ethan Page saying, I always knew you were ugly, Dr. Wagner, but not this ugly. So, as we said, he's still got the championship, but that is a match we're going to get this weekend. Okay, before our main event, Oba, Trick, title versus title, we saw other TNA talents popping up in the crowd. There was Moose popping up in the crowds. I think we had Heather by Elegance. We had Steve Maclin, all popping up in the crowds. We did hear from Josh Briggs. He was going off on the fans, saying, you say I'm boring, but then at the end of my matches, you chant, this is awesome. This is why I don't listen to you. And he sent a warning to Javon Evans as we're seemingly heading towards a match between those guys. Brooks Jensen actually jumped on and said, can't connect with the fans and couldn't connect with your tag partners. What makes Saturday so different? So there we go. Brooks Jensen taking an opportunity to have a little pop there at Briggs. I wonder if anything comes of this. I don't think so, but I thought it was interesting. Jaida going off on Lash, just saying, okay, you did beat me a few weeks ago, but, you better be telling people what happened after when I beat you after the match. So definitely feels like this feud is not over. Looks like we're going to be moving forward with that. And we did get a message from Lexis King as well. He has a message. Apparently this was for Myles ahead of their lights out match. But he had a little really interesting comment to say at the end of this video, talking about his dad. So I just wanted to include it.
Myles, ask him for advice. I asked him about our little situation. You know what he told me? He told me very vividly, very plainly, that I should rip your useless ears off your damn head and spit in the hole that I've created! Myles.
So he said he spoke to his dad in his dreams, and he was just saying, this is what my dad... Of course, he doesn't win on the actual show, but I think whenever he's going to talk about his dad or having conversations with his dad in his dreams, I always find that quite interesting. It's a shame I didn't see this video before NXT. I actually ended up seeing it during the show, but when I saw that little bit of him talking about his dad, I thought, oh, that's pretty interesting. So just wanted to chuck it in here. I don't know where we go with that. I mean, a lights out, that should pretty much end that feud. So I'm not sure where we go with Myles and Lexis next. Okay, we got Oba and Trick, and the match was fun, but you couldn't help but be distracted. Mike Santana actually jumped onto commentary, and then we would see Billie Kay, Jessie McKay in the crowds. I loved her when she was Billie Kay and her resume. I find her so entertaining. So she was in the crowd. That was a distraction. Matt Cardona found her way into the building. That was a distraction. And also this was a distraction. Word coming out that there are pictures and text messages that kind of don't paint Masha Slamovich in a very good light. So apparently TNA are opening an investigation into Masha Slamovich following abuse allegations. This is not a story. This is real life. So if you are wondering why Masha was not on the show, she's going through serious investigation at the moment, so don't know what's going to come of that. But what came of NXT was a big brawl, a big breakdown, and obviously Trick goes up to Mike Santana. I think he ends up punching him or slapping him, and that was the spark. Everyone gets in. War breaks out. You've got to pick a side. And here we go. Mackenzie said, holy shiz, it's happening. The show ends with chaos in the background. Obviously, no one lost their belt. Trick is still TNA champ. Oba is still NXT champ. That means that this Saturday, it's going to be Ricky Saints against Oba Femi for that NXT championship, and they just wanted you to know that. So even though there was chaos and carnage, we still had these guys kind of setting their sights on each other, right? TNA said total non-stop anarchy. And, oh my God, Chelsea Green's husband in the ring. There is Matt Cardona in the ring in NXT. He was trending along with NXT. Chelsea Green pointing that out. And then here's TNA. Get the shirts now. I'm Team TNA, right? Clearly, I am not. I am Team NXT. I don't know if we get shirts. I don't know if we deserve them. But if you want to support the losers, then you can get these shirts right now. And the Iconics were there as well, or the Inspiration, as they are known. That could actually get me to change my allegiance, but I'm gonna stand firm, and I'm gonna ride or die with HBK. So, really, what are the headlines? Jasmine got murked. We don't know who by, but she is out of Fatal Influence. And NXT, TNA are at war. You've got to pick a side.